rush into relationships. I meet you today, I haven't known you, I don't know your background of violence, I don't know how to hold you when you're emotional, I totally know nothing about you. We're moving together. So tunaanza kuona red flags pole kama tunaendelea. And how the way Christo says that the fear of being alone, unaogopa. Wacha nibaki tu, nitavumilia na vile na hizi tabia zake as we move on. Today's activity has fallen within the time frame of 16 days of gender activism. On 16 days of gender activism, we advocate for rights of women and girls against gender-based violence. Today we talked about intimate partner violence, especially among the LGBTQ people. Intimate partner violence is a prevalence amongst LGBTQ people because of fear of discrimination. So we were actually debunking and throwing away myths and misconceptions about the gender minorities and being violated in their relationships. In that we talked about how IPV comes in queer relationships, how to avoid such red flags, and how to move on when in queer relationships. So kuna hii tendency yenye I prefer we stay together day one badala ni kujue from far. Tunakuja, tunalafu unaanza kuonyesha red flags day 3, day 10, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, then kuna hii tendency at 2 years, mbona uliacha hiyo relationship yako ikaenda. You know, for 2 years in a lesbian relationship is like 20 years. So kiambia mtu I let my relationship go for, ilikuwa last for 2 years because of ABC or because of toxicity, mtu anakuambia why did you leave that relationship go? 2 years is a long way for LBQ relationships. Ndio unaona tunaweka kwa hizo relationships zenye ziko toxic. Tunaogopa Ochieng akasema nini? Nilimwacha nikadate immediately. My take home is the fact that we all accept that IPV is a prevalence amongst LBQ people or the gender minorities. And what clearly came out was the fact that we are all ready to beat or to find ways of safeguarding ourselves against IPV and gender-based violence as a whole. And also the fact that we are ready to sensitize more upcoming people on matter GBV and IPV. Sensitize the people we live with, sensitize the whole community, sensitize ourselves about IPV and gender-based violence. That is my take home.
We were talking about ADR, alternative dispute resolution in queer relationships, and I've learned a lot today. I've learned about the 5 steps, that is accommodation, competition, we have avoiding, and also I've learned different ways to deal with the different conversations, that if you want to have a proper relationship with somebody, you have to communicate and you have to learn how to listen to the other person.
My friend. Me and Robert, we are walking away for lunch our prayer sheet. Tukifika hapo Tomboya, ametokea kwa kona. Ndio 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 vibaya.
Jamani.
So, you know, sometimes this IPV thing normally it's very complicated.
Yeah.
And then if you're coming out from a relationship and you're trying to move on, and you guys are like in one location, it's normally very hard. Because you are trying to move on, you are trying to kill, at the same time you are seeing this person, you see him with another person. It makes your life to be much easier.
I think the fight for GBV should not be a thing that we only observe during the 16 days of gender activism. Before 16 days of gender activism, we've had cases of GBV and IPV. After 16 days of gender activism, I am very sure we will continue having these issues of GBV and IPV. So my reasoning would be that we should not always wait for November, December to voice our voices on GBV, IPV matter. This should be a day-to-day routine whereby we advocate for rights of everybody, regardless of their gender identity, their sexual identities, in order to have a free world without GBV.
Everybody have issues, but we must learn to accommodate them, and we must also learn to change for the betterment of our relationships.
What is your thoughts around? What are your thoughts around like your ability of being in a stable relationship? Like, what makes you be in a stable relationship?
Because you're looking at compatibility and you're not seeing that thing that brings you together apart from baby I love you. Yeah? So if we remove baby I love you, what else do we have?
Kuna wale wanabakingi tu I know pesh. Si ati sasa pesha kwa rafiki yangu. The same way pia kama ni one night stand, acha tubaki kwa hiyo one night stand. Si ati sasa unataka kutengeneza kwa relationship na mtu mwingine ataki. Sisi watu ni wakubwa, mnasikizana tu, mnaambiana mama, baba, inafaa kuwa this is it. This is what we are doing now. After that, if you want a rematch, tutarudi back. People should love themselves. If you love yourself, then you learn how to love other people, and then you forgive yourselves for you find out that people love to forgive others before forgiving themselves.
Na 7 rounds in a day. Na nimechoka nayo. I can't move. Tunapatana. So I think from your conversation that also came out clear that we stick into this because of those kind of influencers like Japap, one night, more nights, Maparo, and the repercussions that comes with.
Forget about the societal pressure, zile za kusema that you are not supposed to speak out when something is happening, speak up.
They were able to identify the areas in which different power dynamics played a role to magnify the cycle of violence in their individual lives and also in the lives of other queer persons.
So queer relationship, napata kama day one, it is high, kiss, sex, everything. So sometimes it is good, and that has been a very big problem. Because sometimes it is good. Ukipata mtu mkae chini, you can think beyond sex.
There's a way you want to look like, yeah? They deal you to the world. When you get out in the morning, na unatoka kwa hiyo nyumba umevaa nini, si kwa watu wengine unakwanga decided kutafuta hata nguo.
Mostly we would look at how we can end gender-based violence by respecting each and every person's unique identity and respecting the fact that they have their own personal principles and values. Some they grew up with, some they've learned along the way, that shape how they get involved in intimate partner relationships.
First, before you get into a relationship, know the person. Be friends with them so that you know their characters. Kuna zenye yes hawasemi. Kuna watu wenye wasemaje mimi ni extrovert.